Turn it on. There we go for the working computer. We have a working PC, folks. If you would like to see how it goes, stay tuned and watch the video. My little lad asked me for Christmas if we could upgrade his PC. So I just wanted to give you a rundown of what he actually has in here already. But we will be taking all this out and putting it into a brand new case. So in terms of upgrading the motherboard, this is what I went with for him, the B550M DS3H from Gigabyte. Let's get this bad boy open then. It comes with a couple of set of cables. The board, it's not the most expensive board on the planet, but for what it is, it will do it. For what I need it for, it will do it. So there we have it. That's the Gigabyte B550M motherboard. Socket AM4. Now remember, I am not a professional, I just do this as a hobby. And I have built several PCs in the past, quite a few actually. But I don't tend to bother so much with the high-end stuff. In fact, I don't really bother with it at all, simply because I ain't made the money, and if anything breaks on them, then I'd be gutted. So I tend to stick to a more mid-range, modest budget. Something that just basically functions and you can do what you need to do on it. So here, when we are installing the CPU, we look for our little gold triangle and we line it up with the triangle on the socket. And as you see, once you clip it down, this is the demo paste we'll be supplying, Cooler Master Pro V2. I've used this on pretty much every PC I've built and never had an issue with it. That's pretty much how I apply thermal paste. I know other people prefer it to be nice and smooth, but I don't give a crap about that. We're using the same cooler. There we go, that's the CPU. Then we'll put the RAM in. So if you take the RAM and just line it up with the notch, and there you go. And then just pull your two pins apart and pop it in until it clips. But if I'm right, it's the same board that I've got, so perfect. So he is keeping his 120GB boot drive, his 1TB standard hard drive, and we are upgrading him to a 1TB SSD from Western Digital. So this here is where the SSD will go. And sometimes I have problems with SSDs, like where they're just maybe not sat, where they're not seated properly, which can be a pain. Right, so let's get you situated in there. Just give it a little push until you see the gold pins missing. Push it down, and then take the world's smallest screw, which is going to be a pain in the arse. Now I could put a cooler on it, but I don't think he's going to be doing anything excessive that would require a cooler. So this is the case that he chose himself. It is an Ions Pro Gamer KZ10W Mini, a white cube mini. Don't ask me why he wanted the white case, he did. So let's get this popped open. Like I say, I don't have the space to do all this shit. Let's get this out. He chose this because he thought this would actually be smaller than the case he's actually got. Guess what? It isn't. But I'll give him it. It is a nice looking case. But yep, that is the case. It's got the tempered glass side. Got the two intake fans at the front and the outtake fan at the back. Plenty of space underneath to build and put your power supply in. And that's the front of it. We'll let him take it. Oh, that's nice. Pretty decent. Let's get this in. Line it up. So again with the power supply, I do the same thing a day with everything else. It goes one corner, then the other. Just tighten up corner by corner. And I know somebody's going to comment saying, oh, you haven't got an anti-static mat or an anti-static strap, but I've never had the problem with it. So let's install the motherboard. There we go, motherboard in. So, screw hole. Screw just in here, tight. Let's do a quick test. Yep, that's in. So now we're just going to install the motherboard power, which is this one, and it's very nicely just going to clip in there. Nice. The HD audio, if you have a look on there it says front audio, just a case of lining these little pins up with how it looks on there. So that's the HD audio plug. Then the next one is the front USB, and there where it says USB. 3 into this little black port here, and you should hear a clip like that. So that is the HD audio, front USB and USB 3. We'll get this screwed in, get it screwed in. There's two little notches down there. If we just move that out of the road, and we can just slot that back in there, like so. And then it's held on by a screw up the top there. Go ahead and get that screwed back in. Where the SSD will sit. Seems secure enough. So we're just tidying up some of these cables at the back, make them all nice and a bit neater. But yeah, that's cable management done. Now to install our graphic card. So as you can see, move that out of the way. No, move out of the way. So the graphics card would go in here, and I don't know if you can see me installing that, but you see the little, there's a little clip down the back, and all you want to do once you've got it in, just give it a push, and that little clip should go in, and your graphics card should be set and secure. Again, we are not professionals when it comes to this. There's no wee screws for the graphics card. One there. If you look around the back of where you put your graphics card, just line it up with one of the little holes and screw it in until it goes tight enough, like so. And then you'll find that's nice and secure. So all that's left to do is plug the graphics card in. You see the 8-pin power connector up here for this one, and there we go. You just push it in till you hear a click, and that is that. Let's just turn it on and give it a test. Fingers crossed it fucking works. So it's one thing getting it to boot up. There's another thing when we actually go to power it on with a monitor, if we get a signal with it. But here it goes. And there we go. We have a powered on PC. So look at that, it is beautiful. Well folks, that's it. This computer's finally done. As you can see, up and running. We had a little issue with the boot drive, but I fixed that anyway. And this is what it looks like. All nice and new inside. Really quiet. I haven't got the glass panel on yet, because just in case shit went south. Wide shot for you. There you go, so that is that, up and running. So now we are done building the new computer. I was just wondering, what should we do with the old one? Now I do have some parts lying around. For example, the GTX 1080, I do have a Ryzen 1800X, I do have 16 gigabytes of RAM, and I do have another 1TB hard drive. If you'd like to let me know in the comments what we should do with the old computer, you give me some suggestions on what we should do with it. Like I said, the only thing I haven't done is put the tempered glass panel on yet, but this is looking sweet. We have just finished installing the NVIDIA drivers. So I decided that we would show a little bit of gameplay footage. As you can see, we are running at 60 frames. I don't know if it's going to autofocus, so there you go. So we are running at, on average, 60 frames a second. So this time he is now playing the Binding of, is it the Binding or the Blinding?
The Binding.
The Binding of Isaac.
I always thought it was the Blinding.
So averaging around about 60. Temps are staying nice. So once again folks, if you enjoy the content, don't forget to leave a like. If you've got any suggestions, leave a comment, and we will catch you next time. Thank you very much for watching.